It's Chris Smith time. Oh, hello, everybody. It's me, Chris Smith, and this is the 11th annual Tops and Bottoms Festival. Of course, the Tops and Bottom movies of 2024. And this is the 11th year we've been doing them. And of course, we always start with the bottoms, just to get those bad movies out of the way. They're not necessarily badly made, but they are movies that for some reason or other got on our bottoms list. And we're doing 12 of them this year. It's a dirty dozen, which is probably another movie that would have made on my bottoms list because it's just too serious and, I don't know, violent. But that's another year. This year, at number 12, is Megalopolis. It's sort of like one of those movies like Inception that I just hated. It's a big epic thing. It cost a lot of money. This Megalopolis, I'm told, cost $120 million. It's directed by Francis Ford Coppola, and it grossed $14.3 million worldwide. Maybe they'll get it back somehow. I don't know. It's a sci-fi drama. It has a big cast. It's set in an alternate 21st century New York. It's called New Rome. And the cast is huge. Everybody's in it. And it is just chaotic chaos. But the poster, look how beautiful that is. On the poster. But it got a 45% on Rotten Tomatoes, and that was pretty good for this movie. At number 11 is Reagan, starring Dennis Quaid. Now, Dennis Quaid plays Ronald Reagan, the former president, and Penelope Ann Miller is Nancy Reagan. And Jon Voight is even in it. Republicans rejoice. Trumpers, too. Just know. And I'm sorry. I am not a fan of Ronald Reagan. He knows what he did. He knows. At number 10, it's Joker Folie à Deux. I can hardly pronounce the title, much less get through the movie. Now, this is the follow-up to the 2019 movie Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, and which I loved. It was in my top 10, I believe, that year. This one has Joaquin Phoenix once again. It's directed by Todd Phillips. Is it Todd Phillips? Yes, I think so. Lady Gaga is in it, and it's a musical. It should be all the fixins for me, and I have friends who really liked this movie. There was something about it that left me cold. Very cold. Oh, and you may notice that I'm using my old phone to do the movie posters instead of printing up the things and holding them up. Because, I know modern technology, you could have it go across the screen, but I don't do that, and we shoot this live. So Joker Folie à Deux, it's not for me. At number 9, it's Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. Now, it's true that this sequel to 2023's Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, which I believe was at the top of my bottoms list last year. It's true that the sequel is better. The poster, bravo to them, looks very nice and stylish. It's trash, of course. And it's Winnie the Pooh. Come on. This is why I'm so hard on this movie. This is what we think of for Winnie the Pooh. We always will. For this movie to go into this story to go into public domain and it to be trashed by the makers of this movie, it just leaves such a bad taste in my mouth. Mind you, it doesn't take away from the Winnie the Pooh that you love, but it's disturbing enough to plant a seed into your head, and then when you see Winnie the Pooh, who you love, you think, is there something homicidal behind that sweet smile? I'm still not convinced why Winnie the Pooh in these movies has become a killer. Prepare for the ultimate scream team, it says. Now, this movie has stepped up its pussy, as they said in Sex and the City. Che Diaz said that. And I'm sorry for using strong language, but they did. It looked better. The mask, the makeup effects, they're better. And there is a marvelous scene where everybody at some rave is killed. I mean, everybody. In various ways. That was mildly entertaining. But the movie, it still leaves a bad enough taste in my mouth that I have to put it in the bottom. But it's improved. It's number 9. It's not the number 1 worst movie. So maybe it won't even be on the list when they do Blood and Honey 3. Wouldn't that be nice if it moves into the middle of the movies? I can't imagine it would be a tops, but you never know. Okay, at number 8 is the creepy teddy bear movie Imaginary from Blumhouse. It says, meet Chauncey. He's not imaginary, and he's not your friend. Now, I was offended by this stuffed bear horror movie because my stuffed bear, Aloysius, is the sweetest thing. And it just upset me on behalf of the teddy bear world that they would do this. It's like the whole Winnie the Pooh thing. Why? Now, I thought this movie was fairly boring. Betty Buckley is in it, and it's about this lady, and she has a stepdaughter, and the little girl finds the bear that was this lady's bear as a child, and she has memory problems, and the creepy lady next door babysat her and remembers things that the little girl doesn't remember. It's just overcomplicated, I think. It wasn't fun. I thought it was rather boring, and it upset Aloysius. So it's on the bottom at number 8. I'm sorry. Okay, at number 7, this movie I was looking forward to because I love Brandy, and I love the actress Brandy as well. And this was The Front Room at number 7. Now, this is about a young woman named Belinda, who is married to this guy, Norman, I believe, and she's pregnant. But then his stepmother, Solange, has to come and live with him because I think his father dies, and this woman's an invalid. She has to be cared for. So they move her into the front room of their house downstairs, and it was going to be the baby's room, which is strange that your baby's nursery would be on the first floor and you all are upstairs. Maybe it's because they want to have sex and don't want the baby to hear it. I don't know. Well, anyway, this old lady makes their lives a living hell. She's a racist lady because, you see, Belinda and Norman are a mixed couple. He's white and she's black. And this woman is horrible. She spews hateful things. She also spews vomit, feces, diarrhea, anything that will come out of that woman does. It is a disgusting movie. Yes, there are some laughs, but from the grossness of it. Catherine Hunter plays Solange, and she's also in Megalopolis. So she has the honor this year of being in 2 of the bottom movies on my list. Isn't that wonderful? Congratulations, Catherine Hunter. At number 6 is The Strangers, Chapter 1. Now, I don't know why it's called Chapter 1, because unless they're just doing a reboot of the whole franchise, but it's the 3rd in the Strangers series. The original was in 2008 and was absolutely chilling. with those creepy masks that these people wear when they come and they knock on the door of some secluded house. And there's, oh, you can see, even from the poster, those hideous masks. And the guy has like a sack mask over his head. And here's from the original. I mean, absolutely terrifying. The stuff of nightmares. And the first one with Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman was actually a very good movie and very effective as a terrifying horror movie. But Strangers Chapter 1 it's just more of the same, but not as good. So it's like disappointing that I don't know what they were doing. There was nothing new. It was just, I don't care. No. Still creepy mask, though. At number 5 of the bottoms list, the number 5 bottoms movie of the bottom movie of the year was, for me, Werewolves. Now, I love a werewolf movie. This has Frank Grillo in it, and there's been an event in the world where this crazy supermoon came and turned some of the people in the world into werewolves, and there was carnage. Well, another crazy moon is about to happen. So this time the people are locking themselves in their homes away from the moonlight. And there are a few people who are known to be going to turn into werewolves, and they're studying these scientists to try and get a cure so they can keep this from happening again. Now, as I said, the movie stars Frank Grillo, who was on Guiding Light, and he's not a bad action hero actor. And Lou Diamond Phillips is in it, who presented Ingenue the award for outstanding makeup at the Indie Series Award when Roads to Keystone won its first time, I believe. So that was exciting. But, and as I said, I love werewolf movies. But this one, it felt like we had missed the whole first movie. It's like we were in the sequel and we missed everything that happened in the first one. And sure, they tell us, but there's a lot of backstory in a movie that is not a sequel. It just felt cluttered to me. And then the werewolves sort of looked janky. I mean, some of the transformation scenes were okay, but I mean, things like The Howling and An American Werewolf in London, I thought were done much better. And those were back in the 80s. How have we not progressed? And this was in 2024. No, I'm sorry, werewolves. You didn't have any bite. Not for me. Okay, at number 4 is Founders Day. The poster is great. It's sort of like a Scream wannabe with a really creepy judge's mask with a gavel type weapon. Yes, I thought, oh, this looks interesting. I go to see the movie. It was so badly done. And it's like a Canadian movie, and it's set around a mayoral election, but you don't really know what either side is running for. It's like it opens with these people on the street, and there's like a crowd on one side, a crowd on the other side. They're all arguing. They're like, rah! What are they arguing over? Nobody knows. And the whole movie is like that. It's like all these things happening. You don't know why. It's just so, I mean, ugh. That one really left a bad taste in my mouth. And it's such a shame because that judge's mask was just so scary. And why does the poster say change is here? Yes, for the worst. At number 3 is Trap from M. Night Shyamalan. Now, you know, M. Night Shyamalan has made some very good movies. The Sixth Sense, The Village, Unbreakable, probably others. But he also makes some really bad movies, like I just hated that one, Old, where the people went to the beach. Trap is one that's so nonsensical it's unbelievable. I feel like I overanalyzed this movie to death. But, okay, look, everybody, here's Blackie. Hello, Blackie. He also hated Trap, starring Josh Hartnett as a serial killer. And it also features M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, Salika Shyamalan, as Lady Raven, a Lady Gaga meets Taylor Swift kind of not rock singer, but pop singer, who's having this big concert. And well, I don't want to tell you too much because you might want to see the movie. Okay, if you don't want to see this part, a spoiler alert. I'm giving you time to fast forward. Okay, so he's this serial killer, and he takes his daughter to the concert. The twist is that it turns out that the whole concert is just a trap to try and trap the serial killer. And like the police and probably the FBI, and they're all in on it to try. All the people at the concert, all the workers, everybody, maybe even all the people that have bought tickets. I don't know. But they're all trying to catch this serial killer who may or may not be at this thing. And a twist upon twist is that his wife found a receipt and alerted the police that he maybe was going to be there, but it didn't seem like she told what his name was because they could have just come and grabbed him. They just had a hunch that somebody at this concert was going to be the serial killer and they would catch him there. What? It didn't make any sense. Oh, it still hurts my head so much. It's just madness. I mean, it's madness upon madness. And Lady Raven, no. They should have gotten, remember that movie, Music and Lyrics with Hugh Grant, and they were writing a song for that singer. Now, she was a believable pop star, but Lady Raven is nobody that people would buy a ticket to a concert for. And it was a matinee concert. It was like at 2 p.m. or something. What? Who has a concert, like a big concert, that early in the day at a big arena, and it's all a trap? Oh, no. This didn't make any sense at all. Ugh. M. Night Shyamalan, do better. Okay, at number 2, another kind of trap. Like Winnie the Pooh going into public domain, so did Steamboat Willie, the movie with Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse's first movie. So, of course, they decided to do Mousetrap with a killer mouse head. And it was originally going to be called Mickey's Mousetrap, but then I guess they just had to call it Mousetrap. And this killer wearing the mouse head mask is chasing all these kids around in like this cheap looking amusement park arcade. I don't know what it was. And they're locked in and the killer's on the loose. It was just so dumb. And it was just poorly done. I think I saw that it was done for like $800,000. Spend a little more next time. I mean, at least Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 made things look better. Maybe they can do that if they make a sequel to the Mousetrap. And this is not to be confused with the other Steamboat Willie movie that's coming, which I think is called Screamboat. Oh, y'all that are cannibalizing on all these sweet things like Mickey Mouse or Winnie the Pooh, just stop. Do better. Oh. And finally, the number 1 worst movie of the year for me is Y2K, the horror comedy from first-time director Kyle Mooney from SNL. It follows a group of high school friends trying to survive on New Year's Eve night when the Y2K disaster happens. This was in 1999, kids, when we were going into 2000. We weren't sure if all the power in the world would shut off, if the computers would turn against us, if technology as we knew it stopped working. It was very exciting, sort of silly that everybody was so worried, and nothing happened. But well, stuff happens in Y2K, but it feels like a missed opportunity. First of all, this movie should have been made in 1999, when we were still worried. Look, it says New Year's Eve 1999, the last party before Y2K. It's so stupid. It has such bad effects. It's not funny. It has the most annoying characters I've ever experienced in a movie. I hated this movie so much I almost got up and left. And I saw it before New Year's Eve, so it was still fresh in the theaters. I thought, it'll be good for a laugh. It might have some scary moments. Oh, it was just so awful. But I somehow stayed for the whole thing. And boy, am I glad I did, because then it gave me a good number one. It has a 43% on Rotten Tomatoes. And, it was terrible. But the germ of an idea is there for maybe a serious movie about the Y2K disaster. The biggest problem is it didn't happen, and we know it didn't happen, so who cares? It didn't happen, so why are we scared about something from 1999 that just didn't happen? I don't know. Okay, well, that's my bottoms list for 2024. Join us when we do our tops list. We'll start with the tops in part 1, and then we'll do part 2 with the top 10. And that will be the next time that it's Christmas time.